Hey guys, this is Mr. H. I'm gonna actually do two questions. I'm gonna do number 5 and I'm gonna do number 6. And the reason I'm gonna do these in one video is because they're basically the same kind of question. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna show you how to use your calculator to be able to do these. So let me jump in. So it says the amount of energy Q in joules needed to raise the temperature of m grams of a substance is given by the formula Q equals M times C times the quantity TF minus TI, where C is the specific heat capacity of the substance. If the initial temperature T sub I, if its initial temperature is T sub I, an equation to find its final temperature as T sub F is. So basically all of this is saying is right now we have Q, which is the amount of energy by itself. And what they want you to do is they want you to use algebra to move everything over here to the left-hand side, except for the F, T of F. So we're basically just trying to get T of F by itself. So if you look at these answer choices, they all have T of F by itself. Now, if this isn't a multiple choice section, this is how I would recommend that you do it. So just start with the right-hand side of the equation. And for each variable, we're going to put in a number, and then we're going to solve for Q. And once we make the equation true, because we're going to solve it and make the equation true, then we're just going to go through the answer choices and see which one gives us a true statement when we type it in. So very first thing, I'm going to change the color. I'm going to make this 2, going to make this 3, going to make this 4, going to make this 5, and then we're going to use nSolve and solve for Q. So let's do that. So let's go grab the calculator. Where are you, my calculator? It is right here. So let me get this up. Let me make this a little smaller so we can see everything that we got here. One more thing. Yeah, let's go over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the calculate screen. I'm going to go 2 and I'm going to store it into M. And then I'm going to do 3 and I'm going to store it into C. And then I'm going to do 4 and I'm going to store it into TF. I'm going to actually put those two variables together to make one new variable, TF. And then I'm going to do 5 and I'm going to store that into TI and then press enter. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to use nSolve to solve for Q. So watch, I'm going to go menu 31 and then I'm just going to type in the equation. So it's going to be Q equals M. Now I have to put a times in here, otherwise the calculator thinks that these are variables that I'm trying to create. And they're not variables. I want them to be separate. And this is going to be TF. So TF minus TI. And then I close the parentheses and then I put comma and I'm trying to solve for Q. So watch, I'm going to solve for Q. Now, one of the things that you should see, and I'm going to make this bigger so that you can see it. I want you to see this. Now, if you look at this, notice that the M, the C, the TF, the TI, they're all bolded. The reason that they're bolded is because I've stored numbers in there. The only one that is not bolded is Q. So that's the one that I'm solving for. So when I press enter, it tells me that Q is going to be a -6. It doesn't matter what the number is. It doesn't matter if it's negative, doesn't matter if it's a decimal, doesn't matter if it's a fraction. Whatever that number is, that's what I'm going to store into Q because I've solved it. So I'm going to go this and I'm going to store it into Q. Now, once I've done that, I've made this equation right here. I've made it a true statement because I solved for Q using these other numbers. So now all I'm going to do, I'm going to make this smaller again. Let's bring this, and I'm just gonna key these in, and the one that gives me a true statement is the answer. So let me go, I'm gonna go menu 15 because I don't want all that stuff in the way. I'm gonna go TF equals control divide is going to be Q over M times C, and I got to put that times in there, otherwise the calculator thinks I have another variable, and then I'm gonna go minus ti, and then I press enter, and it says false. So it said in the first one, there's an algebraic mistake. We don't know what it is, doesn't matter. It's not the answer. So we're just gonna copy this now, and then I'm gonna change the minus to a plus, and I'm just gonna press enter again. So I'm gonna get rid of the minus and make it a plus, press enter. It tells me true. That's my answer. So if I were doing this question on the Regents, I would just, same thing. Let's go over it again. Just store the numbers in for each variable, and then solve for Q. That's the one that's by itself. And then once you do that, you're going to store that number into Q. And by the way, the number was a -6. And once you store that in, you've created a true statement. And then when you go down through here, you're going to key in each one of these equations, and the one that gives you a true statement is the answer. I'm actually going to stop, and then I'm going to do number 6 separately. All right, so let me stop this.